Sydney Harbour, naval depot and vital shipping centre, chosen as the scene of Japan's daring assault on the night of May the 31st. Guarding the harbour from attack by surface craft stand heavy batteries, well-nigh impregnable fortresses, wartime weapons of death for the intruder. But in peacetime, Japanese merchantmen could come and go at will. Whaling fleets commanded by Japanese, possibly naval officers, overran Australian waters. One of the most interesting visitors to pass through Sydney Head was this Nippon training ship, cruising the Pacific with its large complement of naval cadets. These boys might well look around, for even then they realized that some of their number might be called upon to attack these very shores. Although at that time, they could not possibly have visualized a two-man sub such as this carrying them to their death. 8 years later, the attack came. Possibly towed to the rendezvous by a large submarine, the underwater convoy approached within sight of the Sydney Head. Vigilant eyes of the Navy, harbour patrol boats joined in the alarm, and in this reconstructed scene, we get an impression of what happened that night as Sydney's defences went into action, seeking and smashing the lurking invader. Journalist George Godfrey of the Sun newspaper Sydney was an actual eyewitness of this thrilling encounter.
It was a cool night with clouds obscuring the moon. Suddenly, I heard two sharp detonations. Searchlight beams from ship and shore flooded the harbour. Immediately came the sharp cracking burst of the pom-poms, and then the deeper roar of heavier guns. Tracer bullets flew across the surface of the water. It was a moment of wild excitement. Into the concentrated beams came the grey periscope of a submarine, with the top of the conning tower showing dark above the surface of the water. The sub was met by a hail of light and heavy caliber shells from the guns. She appeared to be hit heavily and disappeared almost immediately.
The subs fired 2 torpedoes. One missed, but one hit a seawall, the explosion raking an old ferry boat nearby. The other end floated for half an hour, but this part disintegrated. Many naval ratings aboard had weird experiences. Some were thrown out of windows and doors by the blast. Some were trapped in the sinking hull and only hauled out at the last minute. Daylight found the survivors in dry clothes and smiling. Bandsman J. Cumming saved 3 men, repeatedly diving into the water after them. Some were less fortunate and lie in hospital, recovering from minor injuries. It's a miracle how they survived such a blast. 8 men who lost their lives received naval honors at burial. These men did their duty. Australia will remember. Eight mothers paid the price of war, but soon victory will shine through tears. Below a salvage float in Sydney Harbour lies a Japanese sub, and others strew the ocean bed. Japan has her answer. Sydney's harbour defences are prepared.